In his garage, Charlie is busy fixing an airplane that his wife Sarah gave him for his birthday. Sarah comes in to mention she's preparing to leave soon for a business trip to London. She invites Charlie to join her this time, but he declines, citing a heavy workload. Later, Charlie arrives at CIA headquarters. Making his way to the decryption and analysis unit, he passes through the advanced security scanners he himself helped develop before settling in for work. Unexpectedly, Charlie receives a message from Inquiline, a mysterious contact he's trusted for years. This time, the intelligence they provide feels riskier. They caution that the documents could threaten the agency. Charlie guesses Istanbul as their location, but Inquiline quickly dismisses that. Charlie dives into decoding the files, but despite his brilliance, the encryption stumps him. After lunch, Sarah calls, letting him know she's safely in London. Though Charlie already knew, he's been monitoring her movements. Their conversation is brief. Charlie is eager to return to the enigmatic files. Unable to crack the code, Charlie moves to a restricted area equipped with more powerful systems. After some effort, he finally breaks the encryption, uncovering explosive classified government records. The files reveal a drone strike disguised as a self-detonation operation authorized and covered up by Chief Moore, Charlie's superior. Included are news reports highlighting over 150 casualties, including special forces from France and Denmark. That evening, Charlie tries to reach Sarah but gets no response, instead leaving a voicemail. The next morning, at work, he's surprised to find Moore waiting. Moore escorts him to meet O'Brien, the newly appointed director, who informs Charlie about a terrorist attack at a London hotel where Sarah was caught in the crossfire. Charlie is reluctant to accept this news and demands to call Sarah. Moore switches on the TV news, showing the attack unfolding. Terrorists stormed the hotel, taking hostages and killing several, Sarah included. Security footage confirms her presence and fate. Returning home, Charlie is met by swarms of reporters, held back by police. A friend helps him slip inside without disturbance. The day after, Charlie confronts Moore and Supervisor Caleb, suspicious of the official account. He doubts terrorists could evade London's extensive camera network and navigate congested streets unnoticed. Moore promises investigations, but Caleb orders Charlie to stand down. Later, Charlie retrieves Sarah's belongings and her body from the airport. At home, he finds a present Sarah had meant for him, triggering an emotional breakdown. Needing a distraction, Charlie returns to work and hacks into hotel and nearby street cameras to build a timeline. His investigation shows the terrorists stole a vehicle in the East End, slipped into the hotel through service entrances, and wiped fingerprints and DNA. They'd intended to meet representatives from an Indonesian investment firm, but a heated confrontation led to gunfire and casualties among security. Hotel staff alerted the police, while terrorists seized hostages in a conference room. Sarah was among those captured as she tried to protect others. Charlie uses voice and facial recognition software to identify the attackers. Mishka from Moscow, Lawrence, a former elite soldier from South Africa, mercenary Horst, and ex-intelligence officer Gretchen. Observing Caleb and Moore's muted reactions, Charlie realizes they knew about it all along. They assure him they are handling the situation, but insist he seek counseling. The next day, Charlie sneaks a data chip hidden in his ID pass security scanners. In his office, he prints classified files while discreetly copying them digitally with a skimmer device. That night, he lounges in a bar, fixated on the jukebox. The following morning, armed with printed evidence, Charlie confronts his superiors. He exposes Moore's covert operations, including attacks on a Syrian hospital and strikes that killed thousands at a base in Yemen. Charlie warns that unless he regularly inputs a code every 5 hours, the files will be leaked to major media outlets. For silence, he demands full training, new identities, funds, weapons, and intel on those responsible for Sarah's death. After the meeting, overwhelmed, Charlie vomits in his car. Back at CIA, Moore dismisses the dead man's switch as a bluff, but Caleb insists on treating it seriously. They plan to locate the trigger and stage an accident during training if need be. Caleb's team investigates how Charlie copied the files, suspecting he used a printer skimmer to bypass secure computers. Review of security footage reveals Charlie purchased a magnetic strip, but his comings and goings remain a mystery. Searching his home uncovers visits to a particular bar twice. There, agents find an ABBA CD hidden beneath the jukebox, which plays only static noise in the catalog. Meanwhile, Charlie begins CIA training under Colonel Henderson. His marksmanship is poor, requiring close-range shots, but his prowess in bomb-making impresses. Learning his new identity, Charlie endures Henderson's rigorous pressure tests and receives fresh passports. That night, Henderson visits and challenges Charlie's resolve by handing him a gun and asking him to shoot. Trembling, Charlie lowers the weapon, unwilling to pull the trigger. At CIA headquarters, teams work for hours decoding the mysterious CD, only to realize Charlie's dead man switch was a bluff. Unaware that Charlie is monitoring their reactions via a bug hidden in his badge, Moore orders Henderson to apprehend him. Charlie, however, has already fled. Moore later directly calls Charlie, condemning his betrayal. Charlie discreetly removes his earpiece and boards a flight. Arriving in London, Charlie passes customs and heads towards Paris. His fabricated passport triggers alarms at the agency, prompting Henderson's pursuit. In Paris, Charlie rents a room near a restaurant frequented by Gretchen. After some observation, he tracks her phone and sneaks into her apartment, photographing her schedule and discovering a concealed firearm, which he keeps. As Gretchen returns, Charlie hesitates to act. Defeated, he retreats to his hotel. Studying the photos closely, he learns she visits a hospital regularly and uncovers her allergies by hacking her medical records. With a plan in mind, Charlie buys a large bouquet and follows Gretchen to the hospital. While she undergoes tests, a technical glitch forces the doctor to leave. Charlie, disguised as a physician, traps Gretchen inside a chamber, filling it with pollen to trigger her allergies. Gretchen desperately tries to speak, but the attacks leave her incapacitated. Charlie demands information on Horst's whereabouts, the man responsible for Sarah's death. Gretchen manages to push Charlie away, and they scuffle violently. Charlie pulls a weapon, but Gretchen overpowers him and escapes. Pursuing her outside, Charlie is stunned when she is hit by a car. He approaches, retrieving her phone before fleeing and discarding his lab coat. Back at the hotel, Charlie scrubs off blood and packs for Marseilles. News of Gretchen's death reaches the CIA, prompting O'Brien to question Moore, who vaguely suggests internal sabotage. That night, Charlie drowns his guilt in a bar and almost mistakes a stranger for Sarah dancing. Detecting Henderson's approach, he flees, weaving through crowds until he hides in another bar's restroom. With no escape, he confronts Henderson, revealing an imminent bomb set to explode. Charlie dashes out moments before the blast disrupts the bar, losing Henderson's trail along with his tracker. The next morning, Charlie contacts Inquiline and boards a cargo flight to Turkey. In Istanbul, he meets Inquiline at a restaurant after a brief misdirection. She reveals her background, becoming a hacker after her CIA operative husband, the original Inquiline, died under suspicious circumstances. At her home, she confides her weariness of running and her last resort self-defense measures. They analyze Horst's network. He recruits mercenaries, Lawrence deals arms, and Mishka frequently travels while broadcasting online. A woman accompanying Mishka appears in photos. Facial recognition locates her Instagram in Spain. Caleb orders surveillance to catch Charlie, while O'Brien demands Moore halt unauthorized black operations, receiving a curt dismissal. Charlie and Inquiline discover Mishka's location via hotel security and head to Madrid. Charlie learns Mishka frequents a pool connecting rooftops. Henderson closes in, staking out the hotel. Charlie builds a device to trap Mishka, planting it discreetly. At the pool, he confronts Mishka, threatening destruction. When Mishka tries to swim away, the glass cracks, collapsing and drowning him. Inquiline warns of Henderson's approach. A chase ensues. A fight breaks out between Henderson and another agent sent by O'Brien. Charlie nearly intervenes, but opts to flee instead. Later, O'Brien assures more of Charlie's absence, but surveillance reveals Charlie had inside help from Inquiline, presumed to be the widow of a dead agent. Charlie and Inquiline share a tense night, interrupted by sounds of approaching agents. They escape through a secret tunnel, avoiding a drone overhead. After a narrow chase involving boats and gunfire, their vehicle is disabled. Mortally wounded, Inquiline entrusts the wheel to Charlie. He manages to evade pursuers before abandoning the car and saying farewell. Charlie arranges a meeting with Lawrence, posing as an arms dealer, then travels to Romania. Using deception, he tricks Lawrence into a trap with explosives. He demands horse location in exchange for disarming the device. Lawrence reveals operational details before dying in the ensuing blast. The CIA receives false reports of Lawrence's death. In a Russian hotel, Charlie puzzles over Sarah's gift. He solves it to find a heartfelt message. The next day, he spies on a suspicious vehicle at the port, tracking it to a yacht. Approaching the boat, Charlie is ambushed and taken aboard, meeting Horst. Horst confronts Charlie about the indirect elimination of his associates, mocking his reluctance to kill face-to-face. Amidst this, Charlie commandeers the vessel's controls, heavily CIA-secured technology he helped build, and reroutes the yacht to Finland. Surrounded by Finnish Navy and Interpol, Horst and his crew are arrested. Later, O'Brien announces the exposure and arrest of corrupt agents exploiting CIA assets illegally. Henderson compliments Charlie's actions. Following a visit to Sarah's grave, Charlie at last embraces peace, taking his plane up for its first flight.